years ago, in the second age of Middle-earth.
This ring was made to rule the Elven Rings.
Rings of great power.
The complete trilogy,
The Lord of the Rings.
begins Saturday at 2:30 on Radio 4.
This is BBC Two, and now with his traditional message for New Year, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. George Carey.
New Year in Canterbury, as in so many towns and cities, is a busy time for bargain hunters. Here too, the January sales started in December. As with so much of modern life, people are in a great rush to get ahead, to get things done. But New Year is also a chance to take stock, to look beyond the next shop window, further into the future, and deeper into ourselves. It's a time to examine the forces shaping our lives and the power we have, or lack, to shape them ourselves. And that, believe it or not, leads me to this young man. Yes, Harry Potter's made his mark here in Canterbury too. Like many people, I found the Harry Potter film great fun. But like most good fantasies, it also asks some very real questions, including questions about the true source of power in our lives. At one point, young Harry is told there is no good and evil, there's only power, and those too weak to seek it. Well, as Harry goes on to prove, that's nonsense, of course, but there are times when we all feel weak and pretty powerless. In the last 12 months in this country, farming communities devastated by the effects of foot and mouth disease have known all too well feelings of vulnerability and impotence. But nowhere has our sense of powerlessness been stronger, I suspect, than at the time of the terrorist attacks in the United States. The power to destroy on a huge scale seemed, for a time, totally unchecked. So much torn down, so much hatred, so many innocent lives wiped out. If that kind of power, the power to demolish and lay waste, is what really shapes our lives, then we all have much to fear. But that is not the final word, not now, not then. Even on September the 11th, people we would otherwise call ordinary did remarkable and heroic deeds. On a doomed plane, they fought with the hijackers. In the stricken Twin Towers, they risked and sometimes lost their lives trying to save others. Facing death, many spoke final words of love. Somehow we know that at moments like that, love is not a weak word, but something of immense power, standing at the heart of all that is most precious and most true. For Christians everywhere, the power of that love is centered in Christ coming to us as a child and in his death on a lonely cross. In Christ, we see not the love of power, but the power of love. So how do we as individuals, with all our weaknesses, tap that power, the power that creates rather than destroys?
We send all sewing equipment and knitting equipment, and there they're actually teaching the children to do their own knitting.
Someone I've known for a long time now is Sheila Lloyd from Folkestone. 17 years ago, Sheila's compassion for people in crisis and need in the developing world brought to birth something special. Starting from her own front room in Folkestone, she launched an initiative called Operation Sunshine that has now sent 150 huge containers of supplies to more than a dozen countries, the latest being Afghanistan. Sheila's story shows how from modest beginnings, the loving commitment of one woman has made a difference to hundreds of thousands of lives. The example of Sheila and many others up and down the country offers us a message of hope this new year based on the power of love. The love that is small enough to nestle in the human heart and great enough to move the sun and other stars. A very happy New Year.
Did Lennon write better lyrics than Shakespeare? Did Diana inspire more people than Winston? Would you put a footballer before a queen? Who do you think put the great into Britain? There's still time to nominate your choice and contribute to a major BBC Two series. The lines close tonight at midnight, so call 08700 100 870 or log on to the website. Great Britain's Who's Yours?
This is the 8th day of creation. Nature will be your servant. Leap into a future where there are no defects, only design.
The next century is going to bring the opportunity to change how cells and how people are built.
How to Build a Human. Coming soon to BBC Two. Prepare to brave the new world.
An old-fashioned, squeaky clean world corrupted by the kids of today. Film fantasy in Pleasantville tonight at 10. Before that, some strobe lighting as BBC Two squeezes 10 years into 2 hours.